Hey guys, Disco here, and I know that this video might seem a little too late, just considering the fact that what I'm doing ends as of recording this like 2 days from now. But yeah, so today I thought we would go ahead and do the Nic Cage, the PTB of Dead by Daylight, the mid-chapter PTB that has Nic Cage and all that in it. And so for this video, as I'm clicking play here, it's going to be a just first reactions to the PTB. This will be my initial reactions. I'll, look around at everything, all that good stuff. The action, and then I'll do at least one more video where I'm gonna play against bots. Um, I'll make the bots, of course, Nic Cage and all that. I'll try to give them all his perks and just, goof off with them. Um, I'm not, I've never really been, it's not that I'm not interested. It's just my current skill level is not good enough to, like, really do well in the PTB, in any PTB right now. So I have been, so I haven't really wanted to play. Okay, well, that's the same. So I haven't really wanted to play like against real people just because my current skill level is not high enough. Just because I'm, I consider I'm terrible at both sides. Like, I'll admit that. I'm very bad at this game. The last few days have been very rough for both me and Orange because we've been playing together in our free time, trying to help each other out because we still had a few event home stuff and the Rift. I'm on the last tier of the Deep Rift now, literally the very last tier, and I have all the event stuff because I managed to get the last thing I was missing from the event earlier. I wasn't trying, I was just going for the challenges, so I wasn't trying to win, but yeah, I haven't been very. I'm the only reason why I've mainly been playing Dead by Daylight right now is the Blood Rush, all the tiramisu, so I can level up characters, and the fact that I have stuff to do still. Otherwise, I wouldn't be playing right now. Otherwise, I wouldn't be playing the normal game because it's really rough on me. I'm getting very fatigued with everything. The matches have just been very rough, a lot of slugging and stuff, so. Oh, it's on Blight. Good now. Also, why does this have a... Oh. That's why I had that. So I guess so I guess the PTB was right when those outfits came out. That's really funny in a way. It hasn't changed it. There it goes. Yeah, because these are been in the launch game, or the live game for a bit now. That's kind of cool that they're here. Oh my... What? I'm sorry. Um, do you guys mind if I grab the camera up? I'm gonna bring you guys closer. But as you can see, here's Nic Cage. We'll see its model in a second. But as you can see, everything is, right. Binding of Isaac pack that me and Orange both use. We just really like it. It's just so cool to see all these characters in that Binding of Isaac style. I love it. But why is Artist and Jonah? Why are they different? They're like, also, they have new portraits now, which I do remember them saying, which makes me curious as to what the other portraits would have been. Oh, this is back when I still didn't have the body part from Trapper. Okay, can I view the rift in here? Is that... But, yeah, that's really interesting to me that those portraits are different and somehow registered despite the fact that I have a Binding of Isaac pack that should have overlapped it. If it's like that in the launch game, I'm gonna need Orange to help me fix that because I really like the Binding of Isaac style, and if it'll be like that for every version, then I'm very excited to see those pictures on my PS4 account, so I can at least see them there. But yeah, so as you guys can see, now that I brought you closer so you can actually see, that's artist. That's the artist's new portrait picture. As you can see, everyone else's the wonderful Binding of Isaac style. But I really like that picture. Nothing's wrong with the original artist portrait. I do like it. It's just the fact that all the normal like portraits was just their face. I really like that though because it has unique stuff going on. Like it's not just her face you're seeing. It's got a really nice. The style of that is very different. It's kind of like an art. It kind of looks to me like some sort of artwork. Like someone just like someone just drew up like a fan. It looks very much like some type of artwork of artist, which looks, and it just looks really cool in this game. I really hope every character got one, and I'm also, I really hope that these come to the console versions because I really want to see all the new portraits, assuming they're all gonna have that unique style on my PS4. But again, I hope it doesn't stay like that, just because I really enjoy the Binding of Isaac style. I'm very excited to see Binding of Isaac style Nic Cage. But yeah, I just really like the artist one. Like, I like how she has the weapon. I like that sort of unique style they're going for. Let me show off Jonah real quick, and then we'll go to the man of the hour, Nic flipping Cage. Gotta love Nic Cage. Like, look at Jonah. Like, obviously, he's at a weird angle. Let me see if I can't. Oh, made it look wider. My bad. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's a lot better. So I don't have to hold this head awkwarding. Like as you can see, but like Jonah is cool as well. Cause again, even the survivors, it was like just on their face originally. I mean, you saw a little bit of their body, and Michaela, you could see her hat, of course, but like it was mostly just the face. But now, like Jonah, you see a bit more. I really like the Jonah profile picture as well. I haven't taken a good look at it yet, but I need to see the Nic Cage one. So let me. It's that weird angle. Oh my goodness gracious, Nic Cage, you look amazing in this game. I mean, just look at Nic Cage. Like that's great. It's really cool. So what? I need to see his in-game model real quick. Oh my goodness gracious. That airplane mode, what the heck? Nic Cage. Okay, I found it. So he doesn't have anything in the store, obviously, because it's a PTP. I'm curious what his launch outfits will be, because he should have at least one thing. But yeah, no, I really like the Nic Cage in-game model. We kind of saw in the trailer, but there's just something more magical, I guess, about seeing the in-game model. But I mean, yeah, just like, when we bring closer again, just look at that model. I'm sure a lot of people watching this video have already seen the model, but this is my first time seeing it. Other trailers, but yeah, just look at that model. It's so good. And I know he has voice lines, so I hope we can hear some in this video. The Resident Evil characters in Ash and pretty much all the characters that currently talk are very stingy, I've noticed, about talking. They're not talkers. I'm just gonna go to play a survivor just to see if we can get him talk. Who is it this one? It's on Gabriel on this mask. Nice. That's Jonah. But again, I just really like that picture. There he is.
Not liking the vibe here. Not one bit.
Oh my god, he does talk. He says something immediately. I love you, Nic Cage. I'm so happy you're here. It says Nicolas Cage. I'm gonna bring you closer, so if you guys want to read along. Nicolas Cage is a superstar trapped in the role of a lifetime. His personal perks, dramaturgy, I still don't figure out how to pronounce that. Scene partner and plot twist help him make a quick escape, see the killer's aura, and pretend to be dying. Oh yeah, because one of his perks is literally you go into the dying state, and then like stuff happens, and you can pick yourself back up once, and I believe once at endgame too. So I just want to see, because I don't. There was a PTB earlier, but I believe there was something unique for Driver. I really hope if you buy Nic Cage, like he comes with something unique, because most of the time when you buy a chapter, they do come with something unique. I'll just give him some charms just because I can't. Oh, that's cool. The charms are at the bottom of his jacket. I really like that. Let's read his stuff real quick. So it's Nicolas Cage, the man, the myth, the legend, always ready for action. I'm so happy that that's a part of one of his outfit descriptions because he deserves it. Lounge jacket, a suede smoking jacket for more intimate engagements. Fine trousers, stylish blue trousers with an intricate pattern. I'm so happy to. That's immediately gonna be his blow up. It's his own perk. That's really funny. It's also nice that, well, one of my only characters to prestige one on this side are Ash, Dwight, and Nia. And Nancy, but Nancy and Nia came later, so their perks aren't going to be in here, and also Nancy technically doesn't have perks anymore. I missed that. But yeah, just look at the, obviously Binding of Isaac except for everything else, but look at those icons. Like, I really like the top one, where he's holding the sort of iconic, like, feeder mask. I can't vote. I like the bottom right one, the one at the end, where he's like, there's another person there as well. And then I'm assuming the other one is the one for maybe him pretending to be dead. I know I'm moving the camera around a lot, guys, and I'm sorry for that, but it's just, I'm working with limited space here. Like, dramaturgy, however you pronounce that. When people bring you onto their project, they do so because of the unexpected magic you bring to your performance. Dramaturgy activates while you are healthy. While running, press the active ability button 2 to run with knees high for 0.5 seconds. The run with knees high for 0.5 seconds is the part of this perk that I'm still very confused about. Just going into it because I don't fully know what that means. Like, that can mean a lot of things to me, so I'm assuming it's like some type of run, but even then, it's just, I'm not the biggest fan of that wording. I'm excited to hopefully see it in action. That should help me understand better. Sometimes visually is better than just reading text, so I'm hoping that the visual, sort of me seeing the perk, assuming the bots, and the next PTB, which video I will do, will hopefully show. I'm not sure if I'm going to do more than 2 PTB videos. I might not. Potentially might not. Just because time's running out and I at least want to experience it and give some thoughts and opinions on it. So, then gain 25% haste for 2 seconds, and then you either become exposed, you gain haste, you scream, but nothing happens, like your aura.
Sure you don't forget anything.
I'm so happy he talked. Gain a random number item with random add-ons and drop any held item. I haven't watched the videos, but I know there's videos where it's like it'll be a match, and I guess Nicolas Cage is really the first survivor that I can tell that actually talks like in a trial. Because Felita and Renato, they talk to each other, but that's only in the, that's only in sort of the menu here. And then Ash talks, but he doesn't talk in game. Leon, Jill, Rebecca, Ada, Chris, and Shiva and Claire as well, I believe. They talk, but again, only here, not in the matches. But it seems like Nicolas Cage is the first survivor to just actually talk like in a match. Again, I haven't watched the video, kind of want to, but like, if you hook him, I guess he has different voice lines, and depending on the killer, I guess he has different voice lines. Apparently, he has some type of voice line with Michael, good old Michael Myers, who is one of my free mains, although I suck as all 3 of my mains. But I'm physically unable to play any other character because I do way worse. But it is what it is. I'm still learning. Give me some time. Take the part. It's a good movie. He says, "What's the worst that can happen?" Nicolas Cage. Plot twist is the one where I'm not entirely sure what he's doing actually in that picture. Big moments are vital, but you know that sometimes an understated read can just be as powerful. Plot twist activates when you are injured. Press the active ability 2 while crouched and motionless to enter the dying state silently. So you have to be injured, crouched, and not moving. You press the button, now you're in dying state, you just enter silently. And then when you use it, you leave no pools of blood, and you make 0 noise. So this is obviously sort of playing dead perk. What else does it do? No noise, and you can fully recover from the dying state. When you recover by yourself using plot twist, you are healed instantly, and you gain 50% haste for 2 seconds. So it's not. So it doesn't fully explain. So, for me at least, I might not get too much value out of plot twist. Usually, when I'm injured, I have the killer on me or I get unhooked. So the only time I could reasonably use plot twist is if I get unhooked. I might not be able to use plot twist a whole lot for his adept. It sounds like that burst perk, dramaturgy, however you pronounce it. I know it's like drama, but it's the turgy part that like throws me off with the wording. I should be able to get some value out of that for the app. Yeah, and yes, I do plan to get out of Nicolas Cage as soon as I get him. I just really hope by the time he comes out, I just really hope the matches aren't the way that they are. They've been pretty rough for a lot of people that I can tell, and I've been feeling it. I've been feeling it with them. What's the sort of quote thing? I guess it's not from him. This one, not sure who that is. If that would be a cool character, whoever's in his description, because it says, "I think you'll find this shooting location captivating," and it's by Pauline Stamper. I'm actually gonna look up Pauline Stamper and see if it's a real person or not. I'm just genuinely curious. So let me Pauline Stamper. Yeah. Stuff pops up if you search it up, but it's nothing like concrete, so. It might be a fictional character. Not entirely sure. If it is a fictional character, it'd be cool to see that's in the Dead by Daylight world. It would be really cool to see them. I'm very happy that the background is still. I have nothing against the event background. I do like it, but it's just I really liked the shading from this one. That's something me and the Orange and a lot of other people wish they would bring back. Where some type of thing where you could change the background of the menus. You know what I mean? So like maybe you could make it some of the obviously events. I think if there's an event going on, it should be an event one. But like when there's no event going on and it's just kind of like waiting for the next chapter when you have that generic background, I think it would be really cool if you could pick your background, right? So like ideas that I've heard is obviously bring, the RPD one, which I really like. I believe Trickster didn't get one, but like, some of the characters didn't, which is unfortunate. The artist one, which I never got to see. I believe artist has one, never got to see it, which is unfortunate. The Sodico one, where it's like has that really cool sort of staticky-esque effect. Sodico's sort of background is definitely one of my favorites, just because I love how the static-ness is. This one, the one for don't I remember the name of this chapter? I can't think of it right now. Because I want to say Darkness Among Us, but Darkness Among Us is Legion and Jeff, so that's not it. But anyways, as I was saying, like, it'll come to me eventually. But the current background, this one that you're seeing, the space one, I really like it. The one for Dredge was really cool. The Garden of Joy one was nice. I really liked Knights as well. And so I've seen screenshots of some of the old ones, and I really like those as well. So I hope someday they'll consider putting some type, maybe a thing down here or something where you could change it if you want to. But before luckily for me, this is just my first reaction video, but so it shouldn't be too big of a deal that I'm rambling. But let's talk about scene partner now. You lock in with your co-star, engaging with and reacting to each other on a higher level. So scene partner activates when you are in the killer's tear radius, which whenever you look at the killer scream, then see the killer's aura for 3 seconds. There was a chance if you will scream again, and if you do, you see the killer's aura for additional 2 seconds. And it says this is not in the script, Nicolas Cage. So scene partner is interesting because if you're in the killer's tear radius, there's a decent chance you can see them, depending on like the map. Of course, there are some maps where you can hear the tear radius, but like due to like main buildings and whatnot, you aren't seeing the killer yet, so that is useful in that instance. But also, if you scream, you're just and the killer plays more like, say, how Orange plays, where he pays attention to the visual cues. A lot of players, nothing against these players, I get it. A lot of players will be so like they'll either be in chase when the noise goes off that they won't pay attention to it, or I've had some players, again, nothing against them. It's just their way of playing. I totally understand, totally fine with it. I've seen some players where they just flat out like ignore visual cues. Like there'll be a visual cue and there won't be a chase or anything, and they won't go investigate or anything, which is fair. That's just how they want to play the game. I totally get it. But yeah, so his perks sound interesting. Just obviously they might get tweaked a little bit from his release, but I would say scene partner. I would say in terms of me, scene partner and plot twist will probably be the ones that I'm not going to get any value out of. Little to any, little if any, like value out of going for his adept. I see myself. I could see Nicolas Cage being one of the longer adepts. Up there was Jake, who was like, I know it was over 10. It was like, it was something ridiculous. I know it was over 10. It was like 11, 12, 13 maybe. And then Ada was 9, and a few other characters were up there as well. I could see him being one of the longer ones, if not the longest, just because of just basing it off of what I've seen in the game nowadays. But it's fine. Some things that I know about this PTV that I would like to go over, because I will not be testing it, but it's just things I've seen. I know that some killer players, because I saw a thing about it on the community page of Steam. It was somebody basically complaining. It was a person complaining about having full Teens of Survivors DC, and other people were just like, well, you should look at it like, be like, well, think of it as like, a custom game against bots, but you're actually like getting XP and blood points. That guy was not, whoever that person was not having it, and then which is fair. I mean, basically they were all like, oh well, this is an online only game. This is an online only game. I want to play with real people. But if full on teams are DCing that much, that's probably because of your playstyle. Your playstyle might be a bit toxic at that point. I'm just saying, because I've played a lot of rough matches in this game, and very rarely do I DC. I've DC'd 7 times in this game, but those 7 times were extremely rough matches. I've considered DCing a few times now, but because I need to make progress, I haven't done the 8th DC. I don't know if the 8th DC will ever happen. We're at 7, so it's starting to look possible, especially with, everything, but it's fine. I like to... I'm not entirely sure why Jonah and Artist's pictures are different. There must be a reason for it, right? Like, there has to be a reason why their profile pictures are just casually different. Like, they wouldn't just, you know, do that for no reason. I mean, there must have been a reason. Well, I'm thinking about it. Let's look at some of the killers. Artiste. Don't. She still has the add-up build out here. Okay. We have her add-up, just so you guys know. We have a lot of characters apps. Where's my boy at? There he is. I actually got his. He's the only killer I've actually got the add-up was without Orange's help. So that's the same thing. Also, yeah, not even Freddy has helped me these last few days. It's been hell even with him. I wanted to look at Remember Me. It's only green, but still, I wanted to look at Remember Me because it's new, or because it has new effects. So that's why I was like, oh well, I'm gonna look at, Killer real quick. So it works okay. So it looks like it works the exact same as Remember Me before this PTB. You each time your session lists a health state, you gain a token. The person obsessed is not affected by the perk, all that good stuff. But this time, each token increases the opening gates by a few more seconds. I don't know. Because it was not 16 before. The 16 additional seconds are new to this PTB because they're buffing it. I'm happy they're buffing some perks, and I'm happy Remember Me's getting buffed because it's a part of my main, so I like it. I just think it's a perk that warns this anyways. But yeah, I think it's really cool. I like the changes because it lasts longer, which is very useful. It's not going to save me against some of the players that I've seen, but Oh, we just can't look at the archives. Okay. I love how it's just Freddy now as my background. It's so weird having them have that thing. Because, like, what if I were to buy these outfits here, in the PTB, I wouldn't get the outfit, you know what I mean? There's no, that wouldn't go back to the launch game. So it's like, why would you buy outfits in the PTB? I mean, you want it because you wouldn't be able to keep it. Like, nothing. I don't know, like, nothing to my knowledge transfers over. There's still advertising Tools of Torment. See, there's still advertising Tools of Torment. The Singularity is right here. We are looking at Singularity right now in the PTB with his mask on. And you're talking about Tools of Torment. Why? Okay, that's weird. What else could I... Does Demogorgon have his own perks? I really hope he does. He has some of them. That's the wrong button. What is this build? This is a work in progress. So he was work in progress, apparently, because I know he has a full build on PS4, or not PS4, I don't have him on PS4. He has a full build, I believe, on the normal version. You should... Okay, I found the claustrophobia. Good. Yes, we're all proud of you, Demo Dog. You beautiful killer that doesn't exist anymore. Anyways, claustrophobia. So it has same exact description, of course, but now it's all windows and vault locations are blocked for a certain amount of seconds. And then you see the auras of them blocked by it for the duration. I think that's a good buff, because before it was within a 32-meter range of that generator, and I just think and you might be in chase with someone else, like away from that gen, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, probably, because survivors don't typically like to work on gens if the killer is there unless if it's like a friendly match or something. So the point that I'm trying to say here is that claustrophobia getting a buff like that is very useful, because there's a good chance you're either looking for a survivor or you're in chase well away from the gen. So now with claustrophobia getting that nice buff, you can actually, like, work on your chase and stuff. And even though that gen finished, it helps you out in your chase because the vault locations are blocked and the windows are blocked. So yeah, I like that. I'm trying to think of some other. I can't really comment too much on the spirit just because she technically got nerfed. I mean, some people consider it a nerf. I'm not sure if. I mean, it is, but like they were changing something that they wasn't even intentional. So I don't know if that. It counts. There's a lot of other stuff that I'm not sure if I can talk about just because I feel like I'm personally not qualified. Like, as much as I like Hag and Spirit, like watching gameplay of them, I feel like I'm not personally qualified enough to talk about most of the changes in this VTB because, again, I'm really bad at the game. And so, because I'm so bad, it's really hard for me to talk about stuff. Was this the one? No. It's Trail of Torment. Right. He should have Trail of Torment. Because I'm seeing, because I've seen the other. Oh, he does have Remember Me. I could have just looked at him. Here it is, Trail of Torment. Let's read this new Trail of Torment. Obviously the same. After damaging a generator, you become undetectable until the generator stops regressing. During this time, the generator's yellow aura is revealed to survivors. This effect can only trigger once every 80 seconds, but obviously that goes down as it goes up. So that's interesting. Trail of Torment right now is very similar. You still hit a gen, and as that gen is like doing something, you get undetectable. But yeah, the new Trail of Torment buff, it's technically a buff. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It sounds good, but the issue is that one, survivors can see his yellow aura, so they could work on it decently quickly because they can see his aura, so they'll so there's a good chance survivors will just work on the gen and get rid of your undetectable decently quickly. But I do think it's a good change for like, especially if they don't like. I think getting adept for Pyramid Head might be a little easier. Nothing wrong with current adepting Pyramid Head. He's great, but like Trail of Tournament getting a buff definitely helps his adept because that's one of his perks. So obviously it helps him. Let's look at. Here we go. Let's look at new Hangman's trick. So I've seen. As you guys know, when I read the patch notes for this PTB, I talked about how I liked this change. I have seen a lot of stuff since then of people being very angry. So we're gonna get into it. Seems to be. I definitely seem to be in a minority here, but I'll let me explain. So Hangman's Trick before, right, currently in the life game and until this goes live, was not a Scourge Hook. It was just a normal pick perk. Just a normal perk. So it sounds exactly the same, honestly. It sounds the exact same, except now it's the auras was in a Scourge Hook, but the notification of survivor sabotaging a hook is still the same. So it's still very similar. It's just now instead of all hooks, it's just Scourge Hooks. So the reason why I say I'm in the minority here is because most players believe. I say most players because I've seen a lot of people say this about it. They are very upset because of this technically a nerf. So they are very upset. A lot of people, or at least I saw a comment on like a YouTube thing of someone being like, I wish it would have been like Kindred but for Killer, and a lot of other people like they should have just made it all hooks, like this is a nerf, like everybody was basically complaining about. But here's the thing. The reason why I say I'm in the minority here is because I still agree with my patch note. I still agree with my patch note opinion. I still really like the change of it going, of Hangman's Trick becoming our 5th ever Scourge Hook. Let me explain. I can already see the pitchforks and the torches. So let me explain. So the reason I say that is because when you really think about it, turning Hangman's Trick into basically Kindred is a little unfair for survivors, right? Like some of because you could just see survivor auras a lot. And if you can see survivors auras a lot, you could just you just get a field day like then it's you then as long as you're like the type of player that's like paying attention to the auras and stuff, you could it'll like kind of speed up the process of getting like 4Ks, and you can just show up on those survivors a lot faster. So I actually agree with behavior, because the reason why behavior turned it into a scourge hook is because they felt like making it almost nearly the entire map was not going to be a good idea. I agree with them. I honestly do. Again, I'm probably going to get crucified for this statement, but I do think it was the best decision, because if you basically make a kindred, the killer has considering how many like hooks there are, and you see the auras of any time someone walks under a hook, so you would just kind of get a bit of a field day in terms of getting, in terms of finding people. So I think making it a scourge hook, as much as it does suck because it is technically a nerf, and people are calling this like the worst change, the thing, like the one bad thing. I see where they're coming from, but again, I think they made the best decision long term. I know a lot of people don't really use Hangman's Trick, apparently, so I get that, even less people are probably gonna, play it now, use it now. So I'm sure they'll have to. I'm sure people are going to. If I had to guess, this is just an early sort of theory, sort of prediction. This is really the only prediction I can think of right now. But I predict that after the PTB is over in a few days, I think it's I don't remember. I think people are going to sort of have an outcry about this particular perk, and I think so my prediction is that either Hangman's Strike is going to be back to how it was, or they're gonna like buff something about this, or they'll keep the scourge hike but sort of like buff it even more. So like, because now that it's scourge hooks, it's I believe 4 hooks during the scourge hook, so they can kind of get away with buffing it a little bit or something like that. But just my prediction is that something's gonna change with Hammer and Strike upon the release of this chapter, when they use all the feedback and they implement this stuff fully into the game, which I would imagine will probably be when Nic Cage releases. But that's just my early thoughts on that opinion. And then I don't think they mentioned too many other perks. I mean, they mentioned a lot. I don't know if I could even go over everything. Like, they just said so much. But overall, I think I'm very happy with all the changes. Yes, even the controversial. Yes, even the one I'm in the minority for. Still believe that. Crucify me if you want, but you won't change my opinion. And yeah, I think the sorry, different dog, but and then good old there she is, and then the Sadako changes. I'm very happy about. Honestly, like my honest opinion here of Sadako, I really like the change. I've always liked it, but I really like it. Just changing some of her add-ons is nice. I believe some of the add-ons got changed was nice. That's not what I meant to go. They changed how her power worked a little bit. I don't want to read all that, but I agree with a lot of people that this is a good buff, and she's going to be a lot better now. I'm very excited. I'm definitely going to play Sadako. I'm definitely going to play Sadako in the next video when I play against bots, because I want to see these changes a little bit. I'm not saying it's going to go well. I'm not much of a Sadako. I mean, I've done decently well as her in the past, I guess. And I do enjoy playing as her, but bots are a lot. I sort of agree. I agree with the people that say bots are better than most players. Because one, if you play like say Singularity, the bots just know which camera you're on. And also the bots have some other things they can do that makes them, better, of course, but it kind of doesn't matter. I'm actually going to end this video here because I've been rambling about nonsense a lot, and I feel like I've gone over most of the stuff that I feel qualified for. The only really other things I could comment about are the hook grabs and the survivor, like, bots DCing thing. So let me just go over those real quick, and then we'll finish, then I'll end this video. So, I still agree with my initial opinion on the hook, on the grabbing off hooks. Grabbing off hooks is kind of annoying. I get why it's there. But, like, you can already grab off generators, which, honestly, might be a bit more often, just because, you know, that's kind of your whole objective as long as someone's not on the hook. Even when someone is on the hook, I've had plenty of teammates that just let me die on first hook, so, you know. Um, Everybody's different, though, you know. We all play how we want to, and I respect that. Even if it costs me being able to play the game, but that's fine. So I do think that's a good change because it gets rid of, as they said, it gets rid of that mind game. So yes, I agree with that change. Obviously, it's still not safe, but I agree. I agree with Behavior's decision on that one. And then the survivor disconnecting bots. That would be very useful right about now in the live game because let me tell you a little story. This was technically a story time with Disco. I mean, I technically, but obviously it's not in a story time with Disco video. Again, that for those of you that may think that story time with Disco is just a just a thing dedicated to me talking about rough matches. No, that's just how it is right now. I've had ideas for story time with Discus that wouldn't be that. I just haven't done it yet because I don't want to, like, because I don't want story time with Disco to be like, I've gotten I've gotten a bit of backlash for that series already, and also I've gotten backlash in general. Oh man, I've gotten so many hate comments over the years for mostly the way that I film, which this laptop can't really handle OBS, so you're gonna have to deal with this. And then of course some other things. Doesn't matter. It's been a bit since I've seen those, which is nice. But yeah, bit of backlash on some days. But yeah, basically the story I'm gonna tell is me and Orange were playing together to help us both out. We were on the game. It was a clown. Orange unhooked Rebecca. There was a Rebecca there that's AFK for a bit. I was helping a Meg on a Jad, and then Meg randomly ran off of the Jad. Rebecca got... So Orange went, unhooked Rebecca, and then Rebecca apparently just stood there and got down the Gad, and then she DC'd. And then a few seconds later, Meg, who I was helping, was a Jad, and then she ran off the Jad, and she like ran up some stairs. She DC'd like a few seconds later, and so then we just had a really fun match with the clown, where the clown basically showed mercy to us, which was nice of him, and we just had a fun match where we gift off. But like I've had a lot of teammates DC quite a bit recently, and so I am very happy about the survivor bots coming in to take their place. I think that's a really nice change. Obviously, there's no real point to going for the bot, of course, but the fact that there's a bot there to help this, you know, remaining survivors, and this is very nice. I'm very happy about that. I get that some players might not be the biggest fans of it. I think it's a good change, though. I'm very excited to see it in action. But yeah, so with all that being said, I'm going to end this video here so we can get to the gameplay. Because yes, I'm going to do some gameplay. I'm going to play Sadiko, and we're going to probably get absolutely demolished by the bots because they're very good. But I'm very excited to mess around a bit, you know, goof off, have a good time. But yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, do all the garbage. It helps us out a lot and means a lot to us. If you have not watched it yet, if anyone's still here, I do have a. Technically, it's a part four of Plants for Zombies. None of them have part numbers, but it's part four. I would highly recommend checking that out, especially because for pretty much the whole day, ever since I released it, it has had one singular person watch it. So if you got this far, please watch the video. Just I if you want to, if you like Plants vs Zombies, I would recommend it. But yes, I will see you guys in the next video where we will play Sodico against some bots, have a good time, see see if I'm any good at Sodico, see if I'm still struggling, see what the bots are like, all that good stuff. Yeah, bye guys.